Leo, if you ask Spirit the question, you will receive the answer. And maybe some of you have already asked Spirit a very particular question, and your answer could come through in this reading, hopefully, or you'll be given clues and pointers to where you could find your answer or how you can get to where it is that you want to go. Today, it feels like I'm speaking to somebody who is on the verge of making a shift and who has been through something quite difficult, maybe in recent times or maybe long ago, but it's surfacing at this point. I also feel like Spirit wants to talk to you about something that nourishment, something that needs attention within your soul, within your vessel, within your mind, within your thoughts. And the reason why Spirit wants to talk to you about this is so that you can grow beyond any restrictions or refinements, I'm hearing, that you're placing upon yourself. Refinements. So maybe you're a little bit of a perfectionist, or you're really trying to whittle something down to a particular outcome. There's also a message coming through about abundance and the need to stay away from drama at this time, or people who inflict a desire within you to engage in the dramatic side of life. Okay, and that happens for all of us from time to time. But right now, Spirit is asking you to focus on the energy of peace, because something is transmuting at this time, and it is something deep. Okay, and maybe this is something you haven't really spoken about with many people, or you've kind of laid it to rest, and for some reason the energies are bringing it back up. Now, if you're not into this, you don't want to hear about it, or maybe it's just not the right time to listen to this message, that's okay too. You trust yourself in what you want to do here. I did get the numbers 4051, the letter L, K, R, T, M, and P. So A as well. Those may be initials for someone. I don't know if that spells out a word. I have no idea. It could, perhaps. I got some messages here before I pulled out the cards, and that was ask the question and you will receive the answer. And then I got these two messages that are coming through with such a sweet, loving, kind, delicate energy. It's a very supportive energy that's coming in for you. Some of you have asked for divine support and courage and just to be held by Spirit and the universe, and Spirit is responding to you. Okay, I heard that memories hold keys that we've forgotten, and future dreams build doors for those keys to unlock and open. So there's something in the past, in your memories, childhood memories, adult memories, fond memories, difficult memories, they could be anywhere. But there's some information, there's a key, there's something to retrieve out of that space so that you can unlock the door to your dreams. And so as you work through your memories and retrieve that key, it's just as important that you dream up the future that you desire and that you wish to step into. And sometimes when we're manifesting what we want, it's important to kind of leave the past in the past and move forward and be open to new experiences and all that without having any kind of interference from our past memories. However, most of the time, we exist on a continuum of energy in which our soul, mind, spirit, body are kind of flowing back and forth from past, present, future. It's kind of all happening at once on a spiritual plane. And our bodies hold a lot of memories from our ancestors and from our childhood. And so really, as much as the mind would like to just do away with the past, sometimes it's inevitable that it comes back up. And sometimes, I would say all the time, it comes back up for a very important and good reason. And it's there to facilitate our magic, to facilitate our ability to manifest and dream up the doors that we want. Something about we can't dream the doors without having the keys. It's like we need the keys first in order to know that there is even a door, right? So you're going through things and you find a key and you're like, where's the door to this key? What does this open? So if you don't find that key, it's like you don't know there's something to open. That's the message I'm getting from Spirit. I also got something about horns. It feels like maybe there's a sign, a star sign that you're dealing with that has horns. Okay, so Aries, Capricorn, Taurus. Yeah, or hooves I'm hearing. So that, I guess that could be Sagittarius. Am I missing anything? I think that's it. Or these could be important placements in your chart. There's something about dissolving that energy. We have the card Calcination for your supportive frequency. And so calcination is about getting the impurities out of a particular form or thought form or memory or current experience. It's like releasing the impurities, and it has something to do with these horns. Maybe they're devil horns, I don't know. But there's some kind of horn, or I don't know. That's just what I keep getting, like an animal horn. And if you hold it over, this is a metaphor. If you hold it over the fire, it begins to disintegrate, and its piercing capability is no more. Its ability to poke you, pierce through you, is no more. Interesting. Okay, so holding this horn, maybe a memory of a horn, okay, or this devil horn, devil character, whatever it is, over the fire representing your will, your life, your passion, will help disintegrate it. Hold on, give me 1 second. So what are we saying here? I feel like Spirit is saying, if you amplify and concentrate on your passions and your will and your drive and your fiery nature, it will calcinate, it will purify some kind of energy that has been causing you grief, despair, or just been really heavy and dense, difficult to move through. So you have to put some kind of attention and focus on this part of your life, or this energy that's seemingly following you around, or it just pops up every now and then. And I feel like after you calcinate this energy, like you release all the impurities, then all you are left with are the keys. I know this is so abstract and metaphorical, but it's how it's coming through, and it's coming through in this way for a reason. Okay, so if it's not resonating, that's okay. But it is a message for someone. We have sexuality as the challenge. So a lot of us have very difficult memories, experiences, traumas related to sexuality. They can be big things or little things that have happened in our life. And I feel like this coming through as the challenge is perhaps a little bit of a roadmap Spirit is giving you in this reading to identify where those keys are, or what memories need to be calcinated a little bit, need to be purified. Okay? So there's something around sexuality that is important for you, and that is also presenting a challenge. So this could be in your current relationships or just in general. You know, sexuality is an energy. It's its own frequency. It's can be channeled into art and creativity. It doesn't always have to be related to intimacy with somebody else. It could be intimacy with ourselves. So there's something about that aspect of your life that is coming up and presenting a bit of a challenge. But because we had peace first and foremost, I feel like Spirit is recognizing your dedication to yourself and releasing some kind of grief here. Ask the question and you will receive the answer. Okay, so maybe you want to ask that in your mind right now. What question do you have? Do you have a question? Did you have a question that was unanswered at some point? So let's get the cards out and see what else comes through for you, Leo. Yeah, this feels like one of the more heavy readings. Yeah, oh wow, these two cards just fell out. The Child and Remembrance. Yeah, this is a little bit heavy. But, you know, life isn't always... Interesting, I'm trying to bring my chair down, but it's like it wouldn't It wouldn't release, it wouldn't go down. So maybe there's something about not shrinking away from this and sitting tall and being present with these memories that come up around your childhood, or maybe it's a child that you know. Okay, tell me more about calcination. The Stag and Enchanted. Your path has led you to a defining moment that will change your destiny. Ooh, this is magical. I love the Stag. The Stag is a great guide. So wise, so gentle, so patient. So I feel like that's your spirit guide around you at this time. It's the Stag energy. It's this, and maybe you want to just like channel in that Stag energy. Just imagine a stag, feel that power within you, because there's something that energy wants to gift to you. Freedom is what they want to gift to you. Something just popped up on my screen here where I'm playing the music and it said freedom. Freedom and release from the heaviness of a past experience. And so you're at a crossroads in a way where you're at this defining moment. And it's like such a well-supported time for you to really look deeper into this area of life that you are already remembering, or that's coming up, rather than trying to suppress it and turn away from it. Because if you do that, it's bound to just come back up again, and it might come back up again in a time where it's not convenient for you. And I know it's never really convenient to look at these more difficult parts of ourselves and experiences we've been through. But there's something about you being so supported right now. Maybe it has to do with astrology. Maybe it's imperative that we do this before we get to the 8-8 portal, Lionsgate, Leo. So let's go further in. I also feel like I'm not going to dig too much into what this particular challenge is around sexuality, just out of respect, actually, for your energy and for your experience. I think you know what this is about, and we don't really need to go into it too much. Okay, so I'm not really going to give specifics about this. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I felt guided to tell you that. So perhaps there's something here where some guidance coming through where you can work on these issues without having to relive the trauma or relive the difficulty in like vivid graphic detail. Okay, there's other ways to heal, and there's other ways to retrieve those keys, and there's other ways to remember what we need to remember that are more supportive and perhaps a little bit more gentle with us. Anything else I need to say at this point? Grief. Yes, this is the energy for sure. Let me get one more of these. What do you want me to say about grief, Spirit? Fear and manifest self, and it came out in reverse. Okay, so this is part of the defining moment message where there's a frequency about you that's in grief. And Leo, or whoever's watching, if you feel like I'm not in grief at all, I don't have any problems with sexuality, I don't have any traumas or anything like that, nothing, or I do, but it's not coming up at this time, then just don't watch this reading. It's probably better you don't, actually. Okay? This reading should really be resonating with your current energy. And it's okay if you clicked on it and just doesn't. That's fine. Okay, but somebody here, I'm just going to assume that everybody here is resonating now so we can get in a little bit deeper. But there's an energy that I'm connecting with where the grief is like palatable, you know? And along with grief, sometimes can come the energy of fear, or it can manifest into the energy of fear. And I feel like Spirit is saying you have the opportunity at this time to like manifest, how do I say this? A different experience that includes your past, but is seen from a different light, from a more healing space and place. Working on any fear that you have will help you tremendously. And because we're talking so much about memories and the past, it's likely that many of the fears that you have, whether they're subconscious, conscious, whether they're somatically felt or intellectually known, whatever the case, it's like whatever fear you have is most likely a product of an experience that happened in the past, and that is not going to happen again. But your body or your mind, or maybe both, might not realize that just yet, but your soul does. Your soul knows you're safe, and so your soul wants to get in contact with your mind and your body and let it know that it's okay. It's okay to release the fear, because sometimes we hold on to fear because it protects us. You know, that instinct of fear tells us, oh shit, we got to get out of here. We got to go, or we got to protect yourself. You know, that's why we feel fear. It's like an instinct so that we can do something to get ourselves out of danger. So sometimes it's good to thank the fear. Thank you for alerting me of a danger, but the danger has passed and there's no need to fear anymore. So I feel like some of you could work on that a little bit. And I remember, I think it's been about a year now, but there was a big theme in the Leo readings about a year ago about death, grief, and people losing people. And a lot of you responded that you had recently lost someone close to you. And it could be around this time, and something's coming up from that time, the memories, okay? And just honor those memories and try to locate, recognize where any fear still exists in relation to that loss. Okay, because Spirit wants you to smile. Spirit wants you to, let's see, what do you want collective to do? Action, boundaries, sovereignty, release. Spirit wants you to be free, to take some kind of action here to release yourself from this bubble of protection that you've built around yourself because you're in some kind of fear mode or grief. And experience sovereignty. Now, when you put this bubble around you with the boundaries card, you did it for good reason, but there was a fear that existed, hence the boundary needed to be put in place to protect you. But I feel like at this time, Spirit's saying you can, what's the right word? I'm hearing you can dream again, assessing, look, you can dream again. You can look towards the future, knowing that you're working on and resolving the past, knowing that you are retrieving those keys from the past experience, or perhaps you've already retrieved the keys from that old self, that old part of you that was hurt. You've gone back and talked to that part of you and got the keys, joined hands with that part of you, got the keys, and it's time to assess and move forward into the future and not be so worried here. But it's not so much worry, it's like blocking yourself from reaching out and really experiencing what it's like to open like this flower. It's like you're just watching a version of yourself that could be without actually taking action towards becoming that. And Spirit's saying you're more than capable here to be free, to release, be sovereign. Okay, so I don't know who this message is for, but it feels like it's coming through just to support you, just to show you that Spirit is here supporting you and that you're seen, and that you are undergoing a transformation, and that most of the time, our biggest transformations require us moving through difficult energies and healing our past wounds. You know, sometimes when we go through something really difficult, that part of ourself, that the person who we were in that time when we experienced that difficult thing, was hurt. And then we move forward in the future and we say, oh, I'm just going to leave that in the past. I'm just going to, forget about that. Life goes on, and it does go on. Life goes on, and that happened back there, and it doesn't matter anymore. Well, we kind of leave that wounded part of ourselves, that person we were back there, alone. We leave them. We say, oh, that's you over there. That's, it's not me. I don't have to deal with that. And so this is really about going back and retrieving that part of you that you left back there. Okay? If that doesn't resonate, don't worry. For Leo, Spirit. 10 of Wands. There's the horns on this bull. The fire. This is interesting. Look, I said that you can purify the horns, calcinate the horns by holding them over the fire. And here you are carrying all these sticks to make a big fire on the back of the bull with the horns. See, this is beautiful. I know this is kind of like wonky. Well, it's not wonky, but it's kind of all over the place. I don't know. Maybe it's not. But sometimes that's how energy works. This is like you going back again to that place where the horns were and using that energy that still exists back there to help you carry forward the tools that you'll need to build the fire to purify them. I hope that makes sense. But I feel like generally you could be feeling a lot of weight, a lot of pressure. You've been enduring something for some time. Some of you have a work project or something like that, and it's just like something tedious, or it's just going on, and you don't know why you can't just like muster up the spark or the ingenuity or the shift to just like kind of get it done, or for it to be polished. And it has something to do with all this deeper stuff. 7 of Earth for your opportunity. This is a card of patience, being present, assessing, taking accountability, looking at what you're growing, looking at what's necessary and what's not. And I love this because these two kids here, they're taking the flowers and they're pouring them into their big pot. And they're saying, yeah, this is beautiful actually, because they're not planting seeds. They're planting the fully grown flower. So what does that mean, Spirit? I'm getting, like, it means that Leo doesn't have to wait too much longer. Wait too much longer to do what? Ace of Air, to get clarity. To get the truth. To understand something at a deeper level. You don't have to wait much longer to find the key. I also feel like you have someone helping you. Again, this could be in the spirit world, or maybe it's a friend, or there's someone around you who could help you. Let's see your opportunity. Sorry if you hear the scratching. It's one of my cats. Should I let... Always cats during the Leo energy. Should I let them in? We'll see if we hear another scratch. The Professor and Generosity of Air. So this is the Hierophant and the Queen of Swords for your opportunity. Wow. You are sharp. You are sharp. You are smart. You're highly intellectual. You could hold some authority somewhere, or maybe this is your opportunity. I feel like you have an opportunity to teach others and heal others. And this comes from your own experience of what you went through. 1 second, guys. Who's there? Oh, it's Pixel. Come say hi to Leo. Here's Pixel. She's like, I just went on the table. Sorry, Leo. I know we're having quite the serious reading, but so many of you are convinced, and I am too, that Pixel comes up here to help transmute energy, and so she's here for you too. So much responsibility you have, and maybe to lighten the mood a little bit. So you can stay up here, but not if you're in my way. Okay, so you can sit there. Sit down, Pixel. Sit down. Sit down. Okay, thank you. So there's an opportunity here for you to teach based on what you've learned. And that's good because you got the Ace of Air coming through for you for what you don't see coming, clarity. And what you're going to do with this clarity, this wisdom, this knowledge, is talk to others about what you've been through or how to heal or teach other people. And there's going to be some kind of kindness felt through the clarity that you provide. Interesting. Some of you are going to, if you've been through a difficult trauma or some kind of grief, you're going to learn more about what that means, what that is. And that will help you to have that kind of context for your feelings. So let's see the challenge. What's the challenge, Spirit? The Devil. There's those, oh wow, look at the horns in this card. Don't push that off the table. The horns. Okay, Pixel. You had your shot, girl. Say bye, Leo. Bye, Leo. I'll be with you soon. Okay. So the challenge is the Devil card. It's not allowing yourself to, I'm hearing, forgive yourself. Not that I'm saying you did anything wrong. The Magician. Yes. Thank you, Spirit. The challenge here is not realizing how much magic exists in those memories, in those difficult emotions, in those places, in those spaces, not realizing the keys that are there. Now, if you feel like this is totally uncharted territory for you, then I do think with the cards that are coming out here, what I'm seeing is that it would be very beneficial to work with someone, okay, to help retrieve those keys, especially if you feel fearful about it. But for those of you who have been doing your shadow work, or like you're just familiar with inner work and you feel comfortable, then Spirit is saying when you go into those difficult places and you process them and you navigate your grief and fear, you're going to be able to see some kind of, I don't know what it is, you're going to see some kind of treasure that you haven't been able to discover. Treasure about yourself. Maybe this is direction, but I feel like it's mostly clarity, understanding. Ooh, dishonesty, truth. You're going to be able to understand some kind of truth that you've been, I'm hearing waddling. You've been waddling back and forth with. Maybe somebody else's dishonesty you're going to understand, or ways that you've been dishonest to yourself. Or that you can't be dishonest anymore with yourself, or, you know, you're not going to let dishonesty fly. Something around the theme of dishonesty is what you're going to discover. And once you discover this is when you see the door. Maybe you're doing something right now that doesn't align with who you are. You know, that can be a way of being dishonest with ourselves, not really following our true path. We have balance, conjure, And visual mantra. Cool. Okay, so I feel like Spirit is saying the door that you're manifesting here, you're conjuring it with this card. It's a door that brings you into a life of balance. And there's something here that Spirit wants you to visualize, dream up, dream the future into existence, and maybe have a mantra about what it is you want. Like one of my mantras is visualize to materialize. But maybe there's something here that you need to say to yourself, or a visual mantra, like you keep seeing a particular image. Maybe it's these keys, right? These keys. When you feel like uncomfortable or lost, just maybe see a key or a door or whatever feels natural to you. Future dreams. Memories hold keys that we've forgotten. Future dreams build doors for those keys to unlock and open. Okay, let me see your advice, Leo. Sovereignty of fire, King of Wands. Wow. This is that fire energy. This is the purification. Adventure, sovereignty, free spirit, feeling light, not having a lot of baggage to carry around, lightening your load, because right now 10 of Wands, that load is heavy. But after this, so I feel like Spirit wants you to dream up, visualize, daydream, like fantasize about how you could be lighter, freer, in motion, moving, like feeling powerful, empowered, and like all of those things, all of those qualities that the King of Wands really embodies. How can you step into that energy? Or not even how. What would it look like if you, forget the how. What would it look like if you stepped into that King of Wands energy in its high polarity? Like, what does your life look like as the King of Wands? Because if you can visualize that, you'll subconsciously start moving closer and closer and closer to that. And that's where you should be, you can be. And King of Wands can be a lot of action, but there's also peace and balance in this energy too that Spirit's alerting you to. Balance, yes, this is all about balance, and this is why this theme of the past and the future are coming up, because we're in the present, obviously, but it's about balancing the past and the future to really be in the present. Because if one of those things is out of balance in our mind, we're not really present. Not totally. We're more involved with our past than we are with our future. We're more involved in our future than we are with our past. We're not moving along that continuum of energy like the magician that we are, transmuting energies and turning them into things that we really want to experience. So let me see where you're going to be in the next 3 months. I am going to do an extended reading. In the extended, I go a layer deeper into this message. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this energy in the extended. So if you want to go along to that, the link for that is in the description bar below. But if you don't want to or you can't, then just trust that you received the message that you needed to hear in this reading. Ooh, Leo. Ending on a high note. I like it. We have velocity of fire and 2 of water. Here we have another representation of balance, but the 2 of cups and the Knight of Wands. This is you visualizing King of Wands energy and going forward with it to connect with your past self, with your future self, with your higher self, and potentially with someone else. A beautiful union of balance, of understanding how the light facilitates the dark and the dark facilitates the light. And that once we understand all of those aspects of ourselves and how they were created and what purpose they serve, we're really unstoppable. And we're free. Free from our own fears, free from other people's judgments. We own our own shit. We own our life and we own our manifestations. I feel like, Leo, in the future, you're going to be very satisfied with where you are and where you've decided to go. I do feel this resolution. I feel this satisfaction. I'm hearing 8 weeks. Maybe it's only 8 weeks from now. That's not a lot of time. That's pretty amazing. But even if it's longer, 8 months, whatever, there is some sense of relief and satisfaction, resolution, freedom and movement, and peace. Peace of mind. All because of your own hard work. All right, Leo, that's what I have for you. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.